Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. Got some plays for you today, some defensive plays out of the Jets playbook. Now, the Jets playbook is a defense that I switched over to based off of popular demand. A lot of people were asking about some Jets plays, and a lot of people seem to think it's one of the better defensive books in the game. So I made it my personal book just to lab it a bit, and I've come up with one thing in particular, that the Jets defensive playbook is probably one of the best run defensive playbooks in the game. I think that's why people like it. I personally still think that the Patriots is one of the best. It's still one of my personal favorites. But I can really use a lot of different playbooks. I like the Niners defensive playbook. I like the Panthers defensive playbook. Give me some suggestions in the comments of some playbooks that I should check out. Because ultimately my plan is I'm probably going to put out maybe 5 new defensive ebooks from some of the ones that I just mentioned. If you have a favorite that you want me to do, or that you think is a really good book that I should look into, let me know in the comments section. This is your opportunity to get me to lab it, because like I said, I take you guys' feedback and I work on it. Other than that, let's get into the video. The first, not too long ago, I put out a play out of the 3-4 bear, absolute shutdown run defense. I put out a play out of the 4-4 split not too long ago as well. Absolutely shut down run defense. You've seen in my gameplays. If you watch my gameplay videos, I definitely use those two defenses quite a bit. And today I'm going to add another one to that. I'll try to put links in the description if you didn't see those videos, if you want to check them out. But today I'm going to be focusing on the 3-4 even. Now this is a really good run defense as well. The first play, and to me the number one play that really stops the run, is the OLB strike 2. Now this play right here takes very little adjustments. To me, cover 2 is one of the best defenses, especially post patch. I've gone on over this in videos. Post patch, the cover 2 is one of the best coverage defenses, but when it comes to stopping the run, cover 2 is superior in a lot of ways, especially compared to, I mean, the best 2 run defenses to me are man and cover 2. Those are the best ways to cover that. You can't really cover the run well in a lot of cover 3 looks, because it's like an off coverage. And even like the defense that I put out that I was just mentioning, the 4-4 split, I put out a cover 2 invert. The way that this play works is the linebackers are playing the flats, which doesn't work as well as the corners. The corners playing the flats are a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pick, I'm not even in reformation, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pick that cover 2 play. Like I said, this one here is just a little bit different, the way that it aligns compared to like the Tampa 2. You can just see by the diagram, it's a different play. So let's go ahead and let's pick that. Before I get into the video though, I just want to let you guys know, if you're looking for MUT coins, make sure you guys check out my sponsor, MMOXP.com. They guarantee the cheapest coins on the market, and you get 5% off of that by using my discount code MONEYSHOT. Do not make the mistake of buying packs from EA. If you want to get the players you want, do it the smart way. Buy coins and use my site. Like I said, the cheapest coins on the market. So I went ahead and I picked random run. Which, you know, that's a really nice setting. I don't know if they had that last year, but either way. So basically all we're really going to do, I like to run this a little bit like a 5-2. Like a lot of times based off of the formation, you'll see like this linebacker, he's all the way out here. If I'm choosing this as a run defense, I want to bring him in so it looks like a 5-2 look. And really the only adjustment I'm going to make, there's 2 adjustments that I make. Number 1, I want to spread my linebackers, which is D-pad to the right and then up on the D-pad, and you're going to see how that basically gives me my alignment. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit LB and I'm going to hit RB, and that's it. I'm going to QB contain. So any edge runs, you're going to have it right there. Those adjustments alone are going to take care of all the edge runs. And then you're only, I mean, one thing that you do not want to do is you do not want to spread your defensive line. This to me just creates too much gaps. So number one thing you want to do as far as this goes, do not spread your defensive line. Just spread your linebackers and then QB contain. QB contain does more than get pass rush pressure. It does a really good job of holding down the edges when it comes to run plays. The only thing, if I really wanted to, I would take this guy out just a little bit just to make sure that he gets that outside edge. But I do like him in that QB contain. So it's kind of like, you know, I want him like right on that edge so that he makes sure that if that tight end, he looks like he's going to drop back, if it's a run play or whatever, I want to make sure that he's maintaining that edge. So you can see right there, I mean, I usually that gap, it's a very obvious gap. That's one of the things about this run play, or about this run defense. It's a user heavy defense to an extent, but you can see, you know what your gaps are. Your gaps are right here, which, first of all, based off of this formation, you're not going to get a run to that gap based off of the fact that essentially, you know, it's going to be an inside zone. There's not a lot of run plays that are successful that go opposite field. So I know exactly where my gap is on this particular play, and that's why, I mean, I can see where the gap is between the defensive end and the outside linebacker. So that's my responsibility. That's my run fit, and you can see right there. I mean, it basically just creates it to the point where he's got to come right at me, which is what I want. You're making this run play really predictable. Now, obviously, the defensive end on the other side, or the outside linebacker on the other side, is chasing from behind. He gets him free, and then on the other side there, you can see, I mean, he's going to stretch that play out. If he wants to continue to try to take that outside, I mean, going, you know, north to south is a problem. I want him to go laterally. If I can get the play to go laterally, it's typically going to end in a loss anyway. So on this particular play, if he wants to try to bounce that outside, it's going to be an issue, and that's pretty much the play. So let's go back. Now, the only adjustments that I really didn't make, that's just kind of like the basic adjustments, is, like I said, spreading the line and then, you know, QB containing. But there are some more things that you can do. Now, as far as cover 2 goes, if you really want to play the run heavy, if you know your opponent's running, you're going to want to hit wire triangle and then down on the left stick. That's going to basically press. Now you're seeing your cornerbacks are right at the line. So basically these guys are already holding down the outside, but the cornerbacks are there as a backup. And if they're down the line like this, number one, you're going to gauge the receiver a lot quicker. Like over here, he's going to gauge that receiver a lot quicker, which is going to basically trigger a block shed animation a lot quicker. So if it's an outside run like this, you got your 2 tight end set and a fullback, probably going to be an outside run. Now you have a scenario where you know, your cornerback's going to get off quicker. And on top of that, if you really want to kick it up a notch, hit them on underneath coverages, hit them on hard flats, because that means they're not going to drop back at all. So in the cloud flat or the soft squat that they were in, they were going to drop back first, then the receiver would come up and contact them. Here in a hard flat, they're going to stay right there. They're going to get that contact right off the bat. They're going to get that block shit. They're going to be playing the run well. So that's what I mean when I say cover 2 is one of the best run defenses. Now here I have a little bit of a gap. So, you know, in a scenario like this, I could spread that line. You can see right there, fills the gaps a little bit better, but there's always going to be one gap a little bit bigger than the other. So that's something to be aware of. So I'll go ahead and I'll run it just like this. I don't know if I QB contain. I'll go ahead and I'll do that again real quick. But like I said, this is it. I mean, you can see, I mean, I have everybody in the box essentially, and you can see how, like I said, once again, that defensive end blows up that outside run. Now, like I said, you can't run this defense. This is a defense you run if your opponent is really run heavy. Now, there are some issues that can rise if your opponent, like in this particular scenario, he could straight up hit a streak and your guy's going to be out of position. Like I said, this is for those noobs you run into that run 24/7. They're running you with goal lines. They're running you with 3 tight end sets. They're running you with 2 tight ends and a fullback all game. This is going to be the defense you're going to bring out to squash that. But like I said, if I make the mistake of hard flatting and pressing, this guy here is not going to get back in time on a streak. So, you know, that's the only thing. You have to be aware of what your opponent's doing. If you guess wrong, you get in trouble. But if, like I said, if your opponent is pounding you to death, we've all played those games where it's like somebody's just relentlessly running the ball. This is a defense where you can come out with. Now, you don't have to press either. I mean, if you're worried about that, you could always manually walk these safeties back so they don't have that issue. But the pressing corner, or you can just manually walk the corner down, whatever you have time to do. But the pressing corner is going to be helpful. So, like I said, the fact that you can see he never gets back. He never drops back at all. It never gets to him either, because you can see, like I said, if you're QB containing these guys, look how they just blow that up. You know what I mean? There's 2 guys that are supposed to block there. You have a pulling guard, he completely misses, and then he gets straight to the fullback, gets that inside shoulder, and then it's game over, which is what you're going to see. I mean, that's the point of that QB contain. That's the point of the outside leverage that I created. That's the point of the entire play. You cannot run outside on this. And if you're going to try to run for this gap, I know where the one gap is in the defense. That's my responsibility. That's what I was referring to earlier in the play. So I know exactly where I have to go, and that's why I start going that way. Then once the play gets, I mean, the play shuts itself down for me. I don't have to do much more than that. But like I said, I'm going for that gap first, and then I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to try to run laterally and make the play. But I didn't have to do anything. It was a 5-yard loss simply from the setup. That's the thing about this defense. There's really nothing more than the setup. So like I said, the only issue would be if somebody gets wise and starts streaking. But on a formation like this, the receivers are in tight, so that's not going to happen. That can only really happen if the receiver's out wide. So keep that in mind. If they streak now, they're running right into the safety. So like I said, the only adjustment I want to make here, spread my line. I can spread my line if I want to. Spread the D line. Spreading the line, typically, you know, if you make that mistake and then you pinch it back, this is not good spread. And right there, I accidentally made the mistake. The play ran off, but it still worked. I mean, it was just a fullback dive. But you don't want to spread then pinch. once you lose that alignment with the spread on the defensive line, you can't get it back manually. You have to reset the play entirely to get it back. So, and that sometimes can take longer than you really want to do. But you can see right here, we're just basically, the whole thing gets messed up once you make that. So don't make that mistake. So here, like I said, I can press, but if I do that, you can see how you know, you have an issue if you do that. But if you do it twice, here's the thing though, if you do it twice, if you base a line twice, then a lot of times you can see how the cornerbacks are playing down pretty close, and then the safeties are playing back. So you could also do that. But ultimately, this is the look. And like I said, you're not going to have to worry about it. Hard flatting is important, though. Even if I don't press these cornerbacks, like I said, don't do that when these receivers are out wide. But if you do run into a scenario where you just want to hard flat them, it's still going to have a benefit. So here, let's just go and let's do this again. Like I said, we're getting run plays. We know the run plays are coming. That's kind of like a draw. You're not going to see that a lot. But they're getting nothing but negatives. And like I said, I mean, here's a goal line look, which you will see online. I'm sure we've all played that game as well, where we see a lot of goal lines. I mean, definitely, here's a scenario. I'll press the shit out of this. You know what I'm saying? I'll press and hard flat this. I have no concern that this is going to be a pass play. And if it is, there's no real home runs. So, you know, like I said, look at that. That's a QB sneak gets completely shut down. So pretty much any run play you can imagine is getting stuffed for or taken back for a loss right now. And then, like I said, this gap right here, you can't get rid of that gap. That's the only thing. But you can see it hasn't really been an issue. So if they want to run towards that gap, at least I know what a gap is. So right there, that's the most they've gotten. It was on a fullback dive, about 2 yards. You're definitely going to see some gameplay from me with this defense, because like I said, I do have it. I just, you know, it's quicker for me to do these, and I think a lot of people prefer these to this point. So here's another, you know, we got another goal line. Hopefully it's more than just a QB sneak. Hopefully get like a toss play or something. But you can see there's just nowhere to go. So, you know, without a doubt, really good defense. So that's the video. If you guys want to see more plays like this, I'm definitely going to be using this in gameplay, so expect that to come out pretty soon. But if you want to see more plays like this in practice mode from the Jets, whatever, hit the like button and let me know in the comment section. Other than that, thanks for watching, and my shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.